Hi there, this is Jason and Steve from your wellness team. We're here to teach you about doing a dynamic warm-up. In the past, you probably warmed up in a traditional or an old school method where you did a quick warm-up or little to no warm-up at all, and maybe perform some intense stretching before your exercise. What we like to teach is something different called a dynamic warm-up, where you're going to do some slight stretching and still have a warm-up period that's going to increase your core temperature. You're going to get your heart rate up, and then you're going to prepare your muscles. And this is going to be more beneficial because it can be tailored specific to the exercise you're doing. We'll show you one today that we're going to go over, but you can kind of vary this for if you're doing a more upper back arm workout versus a leg workout. We're going to try to hit everything today. So Steve is on a rower right now. You could do 2 to 5 minutes, just a nice easy row, running on a treadmill, doing a bicycle, something like that. Just something to get your body warm and your heart rate up. After his 2 to 5 minutes, he's gonna step off. And he's doing this making sure not to cause any injury, because that's our big goal here. So we're gonna start with what we call a chicken walk. So he's gonna do a chicken walk, which gets his body in a full range of motion. You see he's using his hips, his quads, his hamstrings, even his ankles and everything. And this is good preparation for any kind of running. And now on his way back, he's gonna do some high knees. So this is gonna get his heart rate up. It's also gonna get big mobility in those hips, get his quads working and things like that. And now on his way back, and again, we're gonna do this nice and quick, but Steve would do that for like the length of the bay. He's gonna do same thing, he's gonna hold his knee though each time. So big step, and he's just, see the difference in stretching. We're just doing a nice quick hold. He's nice and evenly pulling. He's not jerking or anything like that. And that way he's getting a good stretch and he's preparing his body to work out. So a couple variations on the lunge here. We're gonna have Steve take a nice lunge out, and he's gonna twist over towards that knee, keeping his back upright. He still has a good 90-degree angle, and then steps and a twist outwards. Very good. Always twisting over that knee and always doing it in a controlled manner. Somewhat controlled manner. And then on the way back, we're going to have him do a lunge with a Samson stretch. So he's really going to cross those fingers and get that full deep down on that right side. Your psoas, your abdominals. And again, he's still getting his legs with this, but now he's going to increase that range of motion up through his body as well. He's going to turn around here and do some butt kicks. So again, a more aerobic one, gets his heart rate up, but also preparing his quads and his legs. And then on his way back, he's going to do a quad stretch. So same muscle movement here, but now he's doing that just little bit of extra stretch there. And again, I want to reiterate, you'd want to do this for the length of the bay, 50 feet, 100 feet, whatever feels good for you. Mark it out. So now we're going to do a backwards hamstring. So he's going to face that same direction. He's going to just bend down, keep his chest up high, and then get a good hamstring stretch. And the thing that makes this kind of dynamic is he's on body weight. He's stretching that front leg out. He's keeping his chest high, and he's activating that muscle while he's stretching, and that actually creates a better stretch than our previous static stretching. From there, he's going to do what we call a Spiderman, or like a runner's lunge. So he's going to lunge out far with his front leg. He's going to try to bring his arms to the inside, focusing on getting that elbow down nice and low, keeping that knee at 90 degrees and that back leg stretched out. And you can have your elbow straight. You could turn your palm in if Steve move your palm towards the middle in this direction if he wants to. But the idea is getting down there, and you can twist outwards or you could twist inwards towards your knee. Whatever variation feels good. He's also going to do that into a variation now we call the inchworm. So he's going to go down from a standing position, walk his hands out, working on his core, stretching and strengthening all at the same time, and then going back. And he can do it right into that Spiderman at the same time. Move his leg back and then walk his heels forward. And you can walk across the bay or any sort of distance doing this. So now after this, we're going to do a little bit more aerobic, more dynamic. So he's going to do a grapevine. So Steve, you'd face the camera. He's going to go grapevine left, and he's going to make sure that healing, see that healing leg really steps over forward. And then back the other direction, because we want to make sure we do both sides of our body. And that opens up the hips, gets the lower back, and some things like that. Now he's going to move into lateral lunges. So just like you would do a side lunge, the only thing is we're going to go to one side, rock back to the other, and then take a quick skip and continue. Just quick skip and continue. And when he gets to the other side, we'd like him to go back to the right because, again, you want to get that skip going both directions. From here, we're going to do toe touches or like a Romanian deadlift. So he's going to be facing away, one leg down, keep your chest high, bend down, keep that back leg as straight as you can. Opposite arm, touch your toe, and then take a big step forward, opposite foot, and go down with that opposite hand. And you can see you get some stability with this too, working on your small movement muscles here as well. And so again, we'll continue this across the bay. And this helps work on our stability and strengthening and stretching all those little muscles. So now we're going to go into toe touch, from that toe touch to upright kicks or Frankensteins. And Steve it is a kicking motion, so you get a little bit of stretch, but he's being controlled and he's really performing this well. You can tell that he's kicking, just getting that little bit of stretch, and that's our goal. Now from that, we'll move into the center of the gym here and we'll do some upper body. So we're going to start with traditional neck rolls. So if you want to go forward, to the side, to the other side, back, and then once he gets each side a couple times, we'll work on a nice slow roll. Now the thing we want to focus on here is we're not whipping our head around, we're not using the body weight, we're actually using the muscles. So we're stretching in a controlled manner. Because if you start whipping the weight of your head around, you could cause injury. And we're going to do the same thing. Steve's going to move from neck rolls into shoulder circles, just small little circles at 4, just like you used to do back in the day. And this is going to be, again, focusing on the muscle. You're not swinging your arm. And then Steve can reverse it, go backwards. He can also do palms up. Gets a little bit different part of your muscle. And then go forwards as well. And then we can do big circles as well. But again, see how he's getting a stretch? A little bit of a swing, but a little bit different than our old school where we would get our arms into it, because that could cause some injury if you start swinging too excessively. Steve's doing it in a controlled manner. From there, we're going to do some palm rollovers. So he's going to put both arms out, palms up. He's going to turn one of them down. So he's got, and then try to turn it up completely so both palms are facing up each time. And this is really going to work on your rotator cuff and your shoulder muscles. Alrighty, then we're going to have Steve move over to a wall. You could do this in the middle of the room if you didn't have it. Back to the wall. He's going to get flat up against that wall, try to contract his lower back as best as he can. And he's going to put his arms out like a cactus or like an iron cross. He's going to slide them up, trying to keep them on the wall, and then coming up into the middle a little bit too. And then he's going to come back down. And you see how his hands came off the wall a little bit? And then from here, he's going to go into a pec deck and then go straight up with his arms as well. And you can do just one or the other of these, but you'll notice that you'll be tight here in the lats when he goes up. And then in here, he'll be tight in the shoulders. And as he goes up, his hands have a tendency to want to come off the wall. And again, make sure your lower back is staying on there. And that'll help strengthen those back delts, your rear delts, your rhomboids, and stretch those areas as well. And then from there, we just have one other. We'll have Steve get down. Conveniently, we have a mat placed here. And he'll go into like a tabletop position. All hands on fort. And we're going to do a duck under. So we'll have him keep his left hand straight. We'll have him take his right hand under. And he'll fully duck under, keeping his hips neutral, his knees on the mat, his feet on the mat, and this really gets a good rotation in here. And we'll have him come back out, and he'll open up the other direction with his arm coming up to the sky, trying to be vertical, perfect. And he's opening up now the other direction, and he can go back down and continue that, and then the other direction. And again, you'll want to do, 5 to 10 of these for about, a total of 30 seconds. For your warm-up. And he comes back down. And that's what we like to see. You can do some other variations. You could throw in some other exercises. But again, remember, focus on the muscle, some just slight stretching, and no swinging.